Hello, everyone. It's time to eat, drink, and be merry with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Eat, Drink, and Be Merry show. And that's exactly what Nancy and I did with Fabrizia's spirits and cookies, delicious cookies. We're going to get a taste of Italy today. We're going to talk about a family-owned spirits company, and they specialize in limoncello products, and this includes canned cocktails. And we got them over Memorial Weekend. So you know what we did in the sunshine, right? In the backyard with dogs and flowers and birds. That's kind of what we did. And anyway, go to fabriziaspirits.com. We're very excited to have Phil Mastroianni joining us. He started the company with his brother, Nick. So Phil, how are you?
Doing great, Lisa. Thanks so much for having me on today.
Hey, this is awesome. So you're actually in your production facility. I was watching a video that you guys have on it. So this is like, it's interesting to hear from like a family business that started from a garage, right?
Yeah, my parents' garage,
Really?
peeling lemons. Yeah.
Peeling lemons. Okay, where did the lemon idea come from?
So honestly, I was making some homemade limoncello with, as a hobby while I was living in my parents' basement. And my Uncle Joe was over and he said, "Hey, you should make this limoncello. It's great." I said, "Uncle Joe, that would never work." But I thought a little bit more about it, went back to sleep in my parents' basement that night, and I got obsessed about the idea of making an all-natural, small batch limoncello right here in America. And it all started, so the lemon idea really started with limoncello. And then, as you know, we have our lemon bakery, we have lemon vodka sodas, we have all these different things that we incorporate lemons and other citruses in. They all really started with the idea of making limoncello.
So it's limoncello, not lemoncello, as many of us mispronounce, including myself.
Well,
Apparently I'm not Italian.
Yeah, we don't try to be snobby about it, but yes, limoncello is the correct way to say it.
Okay. Well, I like this because I already had a lesson in pronouncing your last name. I got limoncello down. So we are getting a taste of Italy and pronouncing things correctly. But I want to say this about your products. The canned cocktails, the margaritas, all of them, the sodas, they are really sophisticated. And I mean that whereas a lot of times you get these kind of drinks or even, when you get a margarita that has been made from the bodily thing that you don't, that bottle of stuff sometimes, and it gets you in the back of your throat and it's oversweet and almost too acidic. And so I was very curious about your products. Yeah. And it doesn't, and it perfumey. And a lot of times lemon products get that weird soapy perfumey taste. And you guys don't have that. So how did you do that? Oh, you got to come back.
Well, honestly, sorry, I had to unmute because there's a compressor going off here. But the easiest way to do that is by not overthinking it. We at Fabrizia, we use only natural ingredients, whole ingredients in all of our products. Our vodka sodas and our Italian lemonade, which I'm standing next to, a couple pallets of them right here.
Bring them over.
Yeah, I mean, we use real lemon juice. And in the case of the margarita, we use real tequila, real lemon juice, real sugar, and that's all that goes into it. And then our limoncello, of course. So if you want it to not seem artificial, if you want it to seem not to have that, weird sweet taste, then just don't put junk into it. And that's sort of the basis of everything we do at Fabrizia. So if we make our blood orange vodka soda, we use real blood orange.
Oh,
we don't.
I love that.
We don't use blood orange natural flavors that are, in my opinion, I don't understand what's natural about them if they didn't come from a blood orange. I don't think they usually do. So we just use real blood orange juice, and that makes a big difference as to why our blood orange vodka soda might taste different than a blood orange flavored, other beverage that you find out there that doesn't use blood oranges.
Yeah, the blood orange, I love that. That was one of my favorites. And the cookies, oh my gosh, here comes these giant cookies. And listen, we travel full time, so I'm just going to say the cookies were breakfast for us one day, and they were delicious.
I'm walking us down to the bakery while you're saying that. Hold on a second. Here we got our Philly and lemon candy that Mariah's been packing out. And so all of our bakery items are made right here in those two ovens That's Nancy rolling away truffle balls over there. And so everything
Wow.
is back to me. Yep, everything is made here in house, and has a hefty dose of limoncello and or lemon juice
Mm.
and everything, and that's what makes it 100% for Fabrizia for sure.
Well, the one thing I said is it's a taste of Italy, right? And so the real thing is that the lemons are coming from Italy, right? You have your own grove now. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. Oh, yeah. So what we did was about 6 years ago, we went over to Sicily. We realized, well, what is the one thing that we could do better as a company, as a Limoncello company? And so we said, you know what? We're making it the old-fashioned way. We're making it by hand, small batch, all natural. However, I wish we could be using the Italian fruit because it is a little bit cut above the California fruit, only in regards to the specific sort of type and specimen of the lemon that's grown is a little bit more oily, and the oils have a little bit more of a pepperiness to them that translates to more of a sophisticated limoncello taste. And in any case, when we went over there, we met with the Sorrento growers, the Amalfi growers, the Calabrian growers, settled that the Sicilians would be the best for us to work with, and we bring in 3 or 4 containers a year now of lemons from Sicily that we use for all of our limoncello, and we juice that juice and use that juice in our canned cocktails. Wow. It makes a really big difference.
Wow. And so the one thing I was watching that you were talking about how you take the zest from the lemons and you use that as like a pure product. That is like a huge deal. And it seems like that's part of that little spike to it is that you're using the zest, right? Not just the juice. So yeah, everything's getting used.
Oh yeah, everything's getting used. We use the zest that goes into the limoncello, the juice goes into the cocktails, and then we even take the smashed up lemon pulp essentially, and it gets recycled for I guess bioenergy or something. So really, nothing goes to waste on these.
Oh lemons,
wow. At all, yeah.
So what do you think is your key to success? Is it simplicity as a business? Because how many years has this been now? I mean, again, going from the basement and garage to now a production facility, having your own lemon grove. I mean, not only doing limoncello, but now you've got canned cocktails, you've got baked goods, you've got truffles, you've got candy. I want to come work for you.
Yeah, well, hey, we haven't even mentioned the pistachio liqueur, which is our favorite, and it's one of our biggest new items to hit. It's a liqueur made with real pistachio nuts that are infused in grain alcohol. Add a little bit of cream, a little bit of simple syrup. Really tasty. But actually, here's before I answer your question, here's a bottle of it right here. The answer is, what was the original question?
What is your secret to success of being able to expand and not, and keep that balance and not lose out on your flavors?
Well, I would say that the secret to our success is we don't actually have one. Here's the pistachio liqueur.
Oh,
by the way, yeah, very tasty. I would say we don't have a secret to success outside of really of working hard, being willing to take risks, realizing when we've made a mistake and getting on it right away to fix those. So, starting off making one batch of limoncello that took 4 months to sell, same batch size that we produce 3 or 4 in a day some days now. You'll be learned a lot all the way in between, and how to make more limoncello, how to make it faster, how to make canned cocktails, how to can them with mobile canning lines, how to buy our own canning line, how to come up with other flavors, how to sell this stuff further from home, how to manage distributors, how to get more retailers and restaurants to want to pick it up. There's just so many things. So I think that the constants of that secret to success really are not anything profound. It's simply, sorry, I just had to put some mute. So it's simply working hard, learning through observation, and then, like you said, being committed to making a really good product. Those would probably be like the principles that are helping us be successful. They're definitely not any secrets.
Well, you're getting a lot of celebrity feedback too in the food world, like Giada and all kinds of people. I was looking at, you're getting a lot of positive press, and that doesn't come if you're not doing the right thing and those
Oh,
flavors.
thank you.
Yeah, and that was the first thing to me. I was like, okay, let's try this. But I really again was like, okay, is it going to be one of those drinks that, we're gonna I remember once when we were in Arizona, and we were actually based out of there when we were in one place, and we were somewhere and they had prickly pear margaritas. And I went, oh, that's fantastic, because prickly pears are a fruit. You can cook with them and, do
Yep.
all the make
Sure.
jams, all of that. And it was this pink fake syrup. And I was just like, you're charging me $10 for that? You're not even using the prickly pear. What a scam. Because that went against the state
Yeah.
of Arizona to me. It made me mad.
Well, that's how, as a producer, see, that's a tough one. Like prickly pears, I'm fond of because my grandfather used to eat them in Calabria, Italy,
Oh,
and they're very delicious. They're very refreshing on a hot day. Not surprised Arizona has a lot of them. In southern Italy, they grow very widely, but they don't necessarily, when you congregate them, have an overwhelming amount of flavor. And so what happens when people have these ideas, like prickly pear sounds like a great idea, and I bet you can make a really kick butt small batch version of it at home. But when you go to make a lot of it, you realize that maybe you need a bazillion prickly pears, or you just don't get that flavor you thought the consumer was going to get. And they probably added fake flavoring, if I had to guess, once again, to whatever you're talking about, and it just ruins the whole concept. These quote unquote natural flavors, I'm just really, really against them. And we only have one item out of our entire mix. We have a blueberry flavor that has real name blueberries in it, and it also has some natural blueberry flavor, because we just couldn't get. That's another example. Like, crush up a bunch of blueberries, drink them. They taste more like water than they do like blueberries. Getting that blueberry flavor can be challenging sometimes, that you might get from a blueberry pie when you add a lot of sugar to a bunch of blueberries and bake it, etc. So really, with that one exception out of like the 7 or 8 items we have, we just don't use any natural flavors at Fabrizia. Our pistachio liqueur I just showed you is flavored by real pistachios, period. Nothing else.
Nice. Now, I think you should try the prickly pear and lemon together. I'm just saying that might really, you could help the prickly pear industry by putting lemon with it. It would be cool. But, that's the thing I was saying about, secret to success, because getting in the food world and manufacturing, going from small to growth is probably, the wineries deal with that issue all the time of how far can you go. And you've managed to create baked goods, all these different things. But really expanding is a difficult thing in any business to, you have that weird balance. Plus you're dealing with alcohol. That's not easy either. You've got red tape. That would make me drink all your cocktails.
Oh, you said it. I mean, and sorry, I had to move away because that compressor I told you about, they were evidently working on it. And so they were making a ton of noise over there. But I mean, so the liquor industry is regulated at the federal and the state level. You want to sell your products in any state, you need to register with that state. The feds are involved in all aspects of it. And so there's that extra red tape. And then it's also not very easy to get distribution in the spirits industry. And these are all reasons why, even though we've been doing this for 13 years, the first 4 years, 5 years, I had other jobs too. This didn't just it took a while we had to crawl before we walk before we ran. We're finally running now. We finally
awesome.
have a lot going on and exciting things happening, but it took over a decade for this to happen. In this industry, the spirits industry, really the only way you can sidetrack all of that and do a shortcut, if you will, is really one of 2 ways. You have to have either a really amazing product that is so unconventional, it takes the world by storm, and that doesn't happen too often. But some examples of that would be like, the Screwball peanut butter whiskey, or rum chata. Those are a couple that really come to my mind. Or you need to have really deep resources, and be able to, you have to either be a large existing supplier, or you have to have super deep pockets and willing to, buy those contacts and buy those relationships. So you either, so there is a way for somebody to come in and go from 0 to 100 overnight. But you really need to have a product and a route to market for it that's so compelling that people are like, I need this right away, and they don't want to wait. And that does happen once in a while, but it doesn't happen most of the time. It doesn't. Most of the time you need to earn the business one at a time. So in our case, one restaurant at a time, converting them to our limoncello from another, getting a distributor, and then making that distributor know they made a good decision to pick you up. And these things take years. Individual examples of these statements take years to play out, not days or months. So you have to really love it, which we do. And so that ultimately is what sustains us too.
It's wild too, because you have to have drive and patience at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like that's that in between. I know, and being independent is cool as well. And I bring all this up because of the value of what you're tasting from your products. There's a value, and it's just like wine. Everybody argues about how wine is priced out, and I'm going, if it's a small lot winery, they need to do what they need to do, and it could be just the husband and wife making it. You know what I mean? So it's a value to it. People can get this online from your website and the baked goods, or they can get. I saw that there's a store near us here in Iowa today where I can get it.
For our canned cocktails and our limoncello, our pistachio liqueur, our blood orange liqueur, Italian lemonade, our vodka sodas, all with the real ingredients. It's best if you live in one of the 22 states we're available in. Go to our website, put in your zip code, see if there's a local, even if it is a national chain or if it's a local retailer, a mom and pop. That's always the best place, not only to support your local community, but also it actually is going to get you the best price. But if you can buy Fabrizia spirits online at a website that looks like ours, but it's really not ours. It's really this liquor store that sells, and the prices are higher. And it can take like a week anyways to get it. So that's your best option if there's not a liquor store near you, which you can find at findfabrizia.com or fabriziaspirits.com. Now the bakery, the Fabrizia Lemon Baking Company, whole different ball of wax. That one is a direct-to-consumer business. So everything we produce over here in the bakery that I just sort of walked through, didn't really get into the place. I didn't have a hairnet on or anything like that. But all of our limoncello cookies and all the items that come there, we send gift boxes. They all ship from here via either FedEx, 2-day, or USPS Priority. You get to actually pick at checkout what one you prefer. And, those are available in all states, ready to ship.
Awesome.
They ship usually business day.
Now, have any of your products gone to Italy? Have any of them gone to Italy where your lemon grove is?
No. So the Grove, we're actually trying to get the webcam live. We have a call on Thursday with the Italians. It's been taking like a few months longer than we planned. But that is a on the list of things we'd like to do for accomplishments. I don't know what it will mean for any commercial success, but we'd love to see this go full circle and export Fabrizia from New England back to Italy, where the lemons we source come from. Limoncello is a little competitive in Italy, as you might expect. It's the number 2 liqueur in the country after Campari and Aperol, or maybe it's number 3 even. And there's a lot of regional producers, but I think that if we eventually one day could get it into a duty free or into a few places, that would be a major accomplishment. Just to take that, yeah.
That would be cool. It'd be cool to have it in airports too. Airport bars.
That would probably be like the real goal, because liquor distribution is very different in Italy. It essentially ships it could be shipping next to hot dog buns, or anything else. There's no specific liquor distributors.
Okay.
And also there's a lot of regional producers. And there's a lot of good options for limoncello. So yeah, the airports would be where it ended up. But listen, this is once again just having fun here at this point.
That'd be cool.
And if anybody listens in the Northeast, that's where you're going to find the most locations. Florida's a new market.
Mhm.
We kicked off in California and Nevada. So you can find our Limoncello pistachio at about 24 Total Wines across California.
Oh, cool, cool.
The cans are available at 50 Whole Foods across California. That's brand new for us. And then on the East Coast, even better distribution.
That's
And
awesome.
actually in Illinois, Whole Foods carries us in about 20 of their stores. So slowly but surely, we're picking away at it.
American domination, and then on to Italy. So did the pandemic affect you guys with your grove being in Italy?
No. So what? Well, yes. Okay. So at that point, we had not established the actual Fabrizia Lemon Grove.
Okay.
But it did disrupt. We buy all of our lemons from one family, and that's actually where we have a portion of land that is dedicated to us now. At the time in 2020, we just bought our lemons from them. They have about 1,000 acres of lemon groves. We were only able to bring in one container that year because we essentially just had to cancel the rest of the orders because we didn't know what the rest of the year looked like, and we were making so much hand sanitizer. That's what we did to hold ourselves over.
Oh, wow. But we needed the cocktails too, sanitizer in one hand, cocktails in the other to get through the pandemic.
Sanitizer was essentially only for people's peace of mind, and we donated like $50,000 worth of it, so we certainly were able to give people that peace of mind. But and the world didn't end, and people drank more than they ever did that year and the following. So
isn't it wild? Yeah.
So like you said, we were at the right place at the right time, and
Good.
it was a pretty crazy ride, and on both those fronts. And we're glad though the world is coming back to normal now.
I think it's exciting because of summer. We're looking at parties again. I mean, Memorial Day is when I was saying that weekend we were like, okay, let's try this. So let's try this one, and then we're like, we need to go to work. We can't. We're having too much fun.
I know. Back to reality.
I know, but I think, everyone's going to festivals again, concerts, and
100% back open.
I think it'd be great to see you in like all the ballparks and stuff like that, all the stadiums.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, we'd love to. And we're working on that. It can be tough because a lot of times there's sponsorships that need to be involved to get into some of those stadiums. So that's why a lot of times, but we have had some successes, and actually right here at home, and I live in Massachusetts, and the Gillette Stadium carries our Italian lemonade. So thanks to Bob Kraft and the Patriots. Cool. Yeah, that would be exciting too.
Awesome.
But I just say thank you so much to you and all your listeners for having me on today. It's been a real pleasure.
This is exciting. And listen, best wishes moving forward. It's just so exciting to see a company grow and do it in the right way. And it sounds like you guys are having so much fun, and we can taste it. So I'm going to give out your website to everyone again. So you got to go to fabriziaspirits.com. Fabrizia, okay, you also could go to their bakery. So go to fabrizialemonbakingcompany.com. What does Fabrizia mean? Since I'm in Italian class.
It's a female name. It's an Italian female name that means one that works with their hands. And it also happens to be a small hilltop town, not even an hour from where our family's from in Calabria. So it just sort of seemed hey, look, we do it all by hand. It's a town not far from where we're from, and it felt right. And we like the name, and that's what it means.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Listen, when you're done drinking those, I know you're a traveling radio woman. When you're done drinking that delicious product behind you, you let us know where you are in the country, and we'll send you some. We'll restock you. Okay?
Oh, we want that, and we want to try the blueberry too. We haven't had that yet.
I'm gonna make sure Deborah Lee knows. And once again, I'm gonna go back to some headache, I'm sure. But before I do, I just want to say thanks again for having me on. It was great talking to everybody.
Thanks so much, Phil. Everybody, again, keep up with us at bigblendradio.com. Thanks.